Let's see, did we see each other yet? All right, let's see. All right, guys, give me a second. It says we're live. Do y'all see us? There we go. There we go. We live. Somebody already shared. I'm about to share now. All right, two shares. All right. And give folks a little bit to get in here, get settled, start showing up. Thanks, guys, for coming on. Appreciate you. Looks like it says live. We got 5 eyes. It might be ours.
Oh yeah.
It might be us viewing this right now. So we'll see. Um, let's see. Let me try to share it to my story. You can even share it to your stories. All right. Let's see here. Go onto my page and say we are live. All right, Dale.
We ready now? All right. Hey, welcome everybody to All Script Podcast on this good Wednesday, man. I want to apologize to everybody that I missed last week. I was on my humanitarian duties and it ran me over with the snow. It just got out of control, So we back this weekend. We got a great show, man. We got a couple guests, man, that's impactful in the neighborhood, and we're gonna get to them in a second, man. It's to the penthouse. Great subject, and tonight it's gonna be some great information shared, man. So y'all get ready. Y'all get ready. Also, all right, I was checking out to know if Coco was gonna say anything. Don't worry about it. I got it. Tonight's guest. I thought you had your own intro. I did tonight's guest though. I got my man, Mr. Kelly, Mr. Lawrence Kelly. He's a older guy that I looked up to growing up two ways. I looked up to him growing up in the streets, and I looked up to him in his reform. So we're gonna talk about that. You know what I mean? Somebody that grew up in my city that was, you know, took an edge on, and we follow some of those trends, and now we're following the good trends. Also, I got my man Antoine Curry. He was in one of the same institutions I was in when we was in Virginia, down there in Haynesville. He got his barber's instructor's license, his license just like I've got. He's opened up a fading academy, a fading institute for barbering, and for everyone. He's doing a great job down in Fredericksburg, man. And I'm telling you, when the story gets told, I know you're gonna be inspired by some of the things that he do. And last but not least, I got my brother Carlos Eccles. He's one of my guys that I met in Haynesville, man. When I met the guy, from day one, we moved on, to different elevations in thought, man, because this guy is one of the smartest guys I met on the compound. Very quiet, very humble, but got a lot of knowledge and a lot of things. And it's stigmas in the system, whereas up north guys might not mess with the Tidewater guys. Tidewater guys might not mess with the Richmond guys. But as we grow and we grew together, it all understand we all in the same struggle. different streets, different neighborhoods, different terminology, but we're all fighting the same fight and we're all doing the same thing. So we all linked up pretty good to, get this community and all our youth moving forward. So I do appreciate each one of these guys for coming on tonight, and we're getting ready to just have a nice open dialogue, a nice discussion with the fellas, and hopefully somebody can get something from that. Coco, if you got anything you need to say, any intros or whatever, if not,
Yeah,
I can
of
keep it.
course, absolutely. Lawrence and I had a lot of introductions earlier before everyone got on, but thanks guys for coming in. Like this is a topic that I think is very important. We know the incarceration rates and how they look in our neighborhood, and we know sometimes the guys come home and some of them may, be hopeless. They don't know where to start. They don't know where to go. And then it may even be a cycle, to where they go back. So it's always good to be able to hear from people who have gone through the same thing and came out and it's doing good. Like it encourages them, it inspires them. And I think a lot of people in our community definitely need that. So
Yes,
thanks again for coming through.
I
Oh,
definitely agree with that. And
pleasure, man.
I'm gonna open up the floor real quick so these gentlemen can introduce themselves, and then we can we can go on. I'm gonna open the floor to Mr. Kelly first. I just get to brief people who you are, and if you don't mind, in your first statement, then yeah, you can give just a small brief of your charge, maybe what you was arrested for back whenever it was the last one, and we can start on from there. We just want to introduce each other. So, Mr. Kelly, if you would begin, please.
Hey, good evening, everybody. My name is Lawrence Kelly. For those who might know me, better know me as Big Grease. And my introduction to the system, 18, um, off and on jail stints. Did my first bid 2 years, came home, back in 45 days later, another year, back home, 10 months later, doing six. And two of those six I did out Texas. That's when they had started no parole in Virginia, when they took away the parole board. So anytime you had coming in after 1994, you doing 85% of that time. Luckily, I was like on the last bit, I didn't get caught up in that. So when I got sentenced to 11, I maxed out to six. Uh, Came home in October 2000. Been home since October 2000, and not saying hasn't been a hell of a journey or hell of a road since I've been out, but I knew I wanted to be out here more than I wanted to be in there, because that last how can I say, I would say that last bit kind of broke me, and I don't have no problem admitting that. And it was a good thing for me because I went through a lot of things while I was there. I lost my brother, I lost my family members, I lost so-called supposed to been friendships. And at that point in my life, I had told myself and I humbled myself and I said, you know what, this is not working for me. And I've been looking forward ever since, you know. And I started going back to school when I was 35. Probably one of the best decisions I ever made before then. Something only regret I have is not doing it sooner, but you're never too old to learn. So, and ever since then, and I've been living my life to the fullest, you know, take it one
And
day at a time. Go ahead.
no, no, because I want to make sure I give you enough time, but I want to stop you because you're gonna be going into some of the questions that we got.
Okay, okay,
Yeah, you're definitely getting ready to tap into some of the things. I want you to be able to elaborate on those things a little more when we get to the
oh,
questions. So
okay.
we definitely appreciate you for your intro and give it move. Mr. Curry, you up next.
Antoine Carey. I've done somewhere just short of 9 years incarceration total. 5 years being my longest bid, and when I actually went to DOC that time, um, from a string of acts, drug possession, distributions, firearms charges. Uh, I was blessed in that last that prison bid to obtain my barber's license at Haynesville Correctional Center. I since was able to been upon my release was able to open it up upon my release in 2014 I opened up Fading and Company Barber Academy. In 2016 Fading and Company Barber Shop. In 2016 Fading and Company Barber Academy. In 2018 and newly Faded Foundation in 2024.
That's just some great feats, man. And coming from where we coming from, I know the struggles was real. We definitely gonna get to those, and I definitely appreciate you for tapping in,
Thanks
Mr.
for
Edwards, man. Talk to me, brother.
Good evening, good evening. My name Carlos Eccles. To people like Few and my brother Tonio, some know me as Abdul, my team. That's on the other side of the wall, a big low. But altogether, I done like 22 years. The last one being my longest, I think I done like 13 and a half. Uh, Came home in 2022. A lot of people don't know that that's the first time as an adult that I actually been home for 365 days.
Mhm. It's a blessing, bro.
Hey, that's real talk. I'm telling you, we need an
It's a
applause
blessing, bro.
button for that.
Yeah,
We need an applause button because
yeah,
people.
was a real hard hit. But since I've been home, man, I think I done most of everything I said I was gonna do, man. Crazy things happen. I ended up starting a program called the Hope Program, where we teach the young youth how to do electrical work, and I started that almost 2 years ago. We done our first successful program over the summer in 2025, and I started my own electrical company in February 2025.
That's what I'm talking about. That's why y'all brothers is up here, man. Because the inspiration for the next generation, man, will be televised tonight. We gonna really get to it, man. Because y'all brothers have been through some things, and I understand the struggle. I understand what it takes. And like I say, just to say I've been home for 1 year is a great accomplishment. It might be small to some, but that 1 year is major because it turned into 5 and 10 and forever.
For
You know
sure.
what I mean? So I'm one with that. So yeah, we're gonna get it rolling, man. We're gonna get it rolling. Try to get into y'all minds a little bit, man. Hopefully it ain't too much for you, man. And y'all just go with the flow. You know what I mean? Thank y'all for coming to off script. We do appreciate that.
Yes,
There we
sir.
go. Coco, did you have a question there for the gentleman to start it off with? Because I know you
Well,
said you had some things you was thinking about with the fellas.
yeah. I think, I mean, like in the intros, like you said, they kind of already told some of the things, that they went through. But I do want to know, concerning your families, if you guys don't mind sharing, how did your incarceration affect your relationship with your family or close friends, both positively and negatively? Um, we'll start with Lawrence, if that's okay, just so we won't overtalk.
hmm Um, to be honest, I didn't. From the time I didn't see any positivity when it comes to the family because we are the ones that putting the burden on them. But the negativity is always it's going to be some. I lost my brother while I was incarcerated in Texas. He was murdered out of DC in 1997. Lost other family members whose funeral I couldn't attend. So I couldn't. Being locked up, you're going to go through things. Life is still going to life, right? And being locked up, you can't let that take you emotionally because you're already in a place where there's a lot of aggression and things could go south at any given time. So when those things like that happen on the outside, especially the family members, friends included, is you grieve in your own way, but you grieve out the way. If you know what I'm saying, if you can understand what I'm saying. So I the negative, yeah, but for me personally, this when it came to family, friends, and stuff like that, I didn't see anything positive about it because I'm the one that's incarcerated, and they're the ones, you know, having to go through it because of my incarceration. That includes my kids too at the time.
Mm-hmm.
All I did, when I did get out, I did what I had to do to keep myself out to stay positive for them. That's when the positivity started for me the day I left behind the walls,
Mm-hmm.
you know, and
Mm-hmm.
that's what I've been ever since.
So I want to ask you just a follow up to that. So there was no point, or was there a point when once you were in there and the walls were there that you were just like, you know what, I'm not coming back here. Like this, I've seen what this is doing to my family. I don't like how I feel. And, once this is over, I'm done. Did that cross your mind during this time period that you spent?
That question's for me.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Yes.
Oh, when my brother when my brother was murdered, I really had to learn what being humble really is. You really learn what humility really is because carrying around that type of emotion, it was difficult, but I knew I had a mother who depended to seeing her other son. She lost one son, and I knew I couldn't afford to let her down by letting her other son run his time up or worse. And and I would say but that was it was a really rough time for me. But I knew I had to keep it together, not only for myself, but for my mom. She was the only one I needed to talk to every week because she lost her son. I lost a brother, but she lost her son. So but I made sure when I came home that I spend all the time I could with her and conversate and talk. And, those type of things that I learned not to take for granted anymore. You know.
Right. All right. I'm going to want to ask the question again because I know, just to refresh everyone. So the question is, um, how did your incarceration affect your relationships with family or close friends, both positively and negatively? So we're going to Antoine.
Okay, I would say, the gift and the curse. Incarceration has a profound effect on any relationship. It naturally may created a separation between guys that I may shouldn't had as strong of a relationship just
Mm,
naturally because you don't the dudes that you would expect to be there don't be there.
mm,
Conversely, the opposite is true. My mom would always tell me, "Boy, you'll get in trouble. I ain't come to see you." She'll beat down the doors. You know, so those relationships grew even stronger. Um, Additionally, I would say it's like the relationships that I was able to forge with brothers, like say that was going through what I was going through. So what I'm saying, being in the confines of those situations, like I was able to build upon some relationships. Um, as I'm older now and released, in spite of how normalized incarceration is, and a lot of kids have to deal with that, I know that my incarceration created space that may have allowed others to influence, some relationships that I had, namely with my kids,
Mm.
but it was due to my absence, due to me being incarcerated. Had I have been there, maybe that influence wouldn't have been as strong.
Mm.
Great answer. Great answer. Los, are you up? Are you ready? Do I need to? You want me to ask it again, or you got it?
No, I got it. So positively, I think I can chime in on what the brother said. Like, you do draw closer with some of your family members, the ones that was there. The ones that was there, you do actually build a closer bond to them. And I don't, only negative I can say I came out of was because I missed almost like up until the 4 years I've been home. My daughter's be 30 this year in April.
Mm.
My daughter, I only got but one child. It's like, well, I missed almost all of that,
Mm.
pretty much. So that's the negative, the super negative. But everything else was like all the other negatives I turned to positives because it's like
Right.
I feel like if you weren't there in a time of need, like, and I'm like few and the brother Antonio can tell, I give you the shirt off my back. So I feel like if you weren't there in a time of need, you weren't really a friend in the first place. So that's like I said, I take that as a positive though. So it's less weight on me.
Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys. Dale, do you want to add anything?
Right,
To
yeah,
this?
I I do because I can relate with the brothers and I understand and empathize with each one of their statements. So I definitely feel that, man. And appreciate y'all sharing it. So, Lowe's, let me ask you this though. So we was in the building together. We had routines. So, are there any other routines that you used to do in prison that you still do? Because you know how they say is you on your
Mm.
deed, is you on your deed. You come home, people
Hey,
get
hey,
so
hey, check this
comfortable.
out. Check this
Hmm.
out. I gotta be real with you, right?
I know. That's why I asked you.
Hey, look, I'm just getting grounded, right? It's like when
I'm
when you
telling
get
you.
out here, I'm being real. Like
Yeah.
it get to moving a little too fast for you, right?
Right.
Mhm.
But I'm within the last 2 weeks, being honest with you, is like it was crazy when I was reading your questions.
Hmm.
Them questions, it was like I believe everything preordained, everything in life happened for a reason. It was like I had just got back on that path for like working out, things that make me feel whole in there. It's like when I lost it a little bit out here,
I
you
understand.
know. But I'm like, in all actuality, even though people look at prison as a bad place, my routine was my peace.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like it was like a question to myself, like self-reflection. I'm like, dang, I missed that about myself.
Hey, I'm with you. I'm with you on that. Hey, Antoine, what about you? Is it any of the routines? 'Cause you might some of us been home a little time. Is it some of them that you still apply? Like some of us used to read. Like me, I used to read all day. Like, and I ain't read a book since I've been home. You know what I mean? So, is it any? I ain't lying. I used to read 2, 3 books, man, a week, man, and I ain't
Mm.
touched the book since I've been home. So, there's some of the routines that you might think you might have lost, or what I mean?
So I mean I'll piggyback off with both of y'all in the sense like I definitely can appreciate that the traits that you picked up, saying the monotony, that and like charge it to myself too, like it's way more distractions out here. So I'm not as disciplined or militant, maybe without because I don't have that structure, those confines. But the things that I do take from that, I still get up early in the morning. I'm
Hmm.
an early riser, even if the
Yeah.
alarm is set, no matter what I did night before, whatnot. Like I'm an early riser. I appreciate that. Um, and I had schedules, but anybody that we did time is like certain things can change at any given time. They could swap your celly out. You could be moved to a different set, different things like that. So I guess the one thing that I do know that I'm able to do, and that is to follow a routine and find peace in a routine. And even if something changes, whereas I need to readjust, I can conform to the next routine just as quick. And I
Right.
like that didn't help me conform with business because things do be moving and you still got to get in line with stuff, and that's been a blessing.
That's real live, and that's real talk, straight up. Hey, Larry, now you done been home probably 25, 30 years, but you did time. So is it any of those things that 20 years from now that you might still be on to that was locked in when you was in the system? Or have all those things been to the back of your mind and everything is new?
I still walk the yard.
Yeah, I understand.
And when I say I still walk the yard, that started when I was in Texas, and that's when doing out there, that's when, my brother got killed. And to help me keep my mental keep my mental stable and not be as aggressive was I used to walk the yard every day, and all the time I was out there with my headphones on. I still do that to this day.
Hmm.
If I'm going to the work, going to the store, whatever, I got my headphones on, blocking out the world. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's how got me. That's what got me through those last few years of that bid. Walk the yard. And I'm still
Hmm.
walking the yard 25 years later. You know, my peace is
Um,
everything.
I wanted to read just because you just brought that up, I wanted to read a comment, and it's from Naima, and she said it's important to learn how to control emotions and temper while in, because if
Mm.
not, it can cause you everything.
That's a fact.
True fact. True fact.
In the split of a second, things can change on you, and
Things can change.
yeah,
You
yeah,
know, go from a smile to nigga gonna get that shank. Nigga, what's
yeah,
up? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
so it's a discipline.
Hmm.
It's a discipline that's probably needed more out here than in there.
That
Because
controlling your emotions and stuff.
definitely,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Because critical thinking is probably at its all-time low right about now. And but when you don't really get the chance to make a lot of mistakes like that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you always gonna be on your toes. You know what I'm saying? You always you critical thinking about the next move, especially if it's something pop off. You know what I'm saying? I've been to a few places where, and you know how it is in the Virginia system. You got your three main cliques. You got your Northern Virginia, DC, you got your Tidewater, and you got your Richmond. It was some clashes, especially out Texas. And even with the Hawaiian, it was some Hawaiian Samoans. I mean, some WWE motherfuckers, man. You know what
Hmm.
I'm saying? So these motherfuckers got 50 years of life, most of them. So you got to be on your toes, but you also you got to have critical thinking when especially when it comes to your next move. So that's what I say about that, man. It's definitely a lot of people need to learn more about their critical thinking skills.
That's a
Um,
fact.
Naima asked another question, and I think because we're on the topic right now, it applies. She said, "What are three things you don't or shouldn't do while in prison to keep you out of trouble or getting hurt?" And I think you kind of said regulating your emotions
Hmm.
and and things like that. Is there anything else? Like, are there like following procedures, or this is
You
what
have to
people we
mind your
don't know because we've
business.
never
Just
been
mind your
there.
business.
You
That's
have
it.
to mind your business.
Just mind your business.
Hmm.
Mind your business. Do not get in other people's affairs, and don't stick your nose where it don't belong. Mind your business.
I'm never gonna encourage nobody to go in there, but if you go in there, just don't try to be too much, and just
Hmm.
mind your business, and you'll be okay.
For sure.
It's
Let
funny.
me. Go ahead. Go ahead,
No,
Antoine. Mhm.
well, I just was add like it's crazy to me, especially with the new age world, how social media, it's a
Mm.
world where you can be bigger than you are, and like it's
Uh,
encouraged to there's like
mm,
it's a complete different
mm,
world.
mm.
It
Yeah.
really
You know,
is. It's
yeah.
they get a culture shock when they get in there, and it's rude, man. It's a rude one.
Yeah.
But
And,
let me start, Antoine. I want to ask you this. I want to start with you. Um, what type of PTSD or mental anguish have you dealt with? And I'm gonna say this. Some people don't, so they won't understand what I'm saying. It could be small and minute. One of mine was I was at the dinner table eating my food in 3 4 minutes, covering my food. You know what I mean?
Mm,
Not really. Being aware of what I'm doing. This in the streets. The girl had to tell me, like, slow down, or stop covering your plate without me really knowing what I was doing. So that's a post traumatic syndrome that we're dealing with from prison. Some of them could be minute, some of them could be big from you waking up in the middle of the night. So
mm.
did you experience any of these, or do you still experience any of the PTS or mental anguish being free?
I'm gonna give you the real. And I did. That was one of the questions that I did look at on there. I I I, I offer reentry services by way of education, but I deal
Hmm.
with a lot of other organizations that focus on, say, the other barriers, saying that need to be met. Mental health being one of them. And I always kind of steer away from me trying to, delve back or relive anything, with hopes of healing something. Um,
Right.
Mm,
whole time is like I did not do as much time as a lot of my other counterparts and my other comrades that was doing time. I didn't. 5 years was the longest that I did. And at this point, I've been home for just over 10 years. And I question myself, because my reputation precedes me. A lot of times people know that you've been incarcerated, so they are kind of fascinated by that. And I kind of always minimize the trauma.
mm,
I didn't have no
Yeah.
crazy wild bid though. I don't gamble. You know what I'm saying? I don't. I got a support system, so there was never a time that I was really in need of anything. So like, I didn't have any incidents that took place that I witnessed a lot, but nothing that affected me directly. Now, what makes me question is that with being home for so long now and being around a different population of people, it's like I really feel so far removed from my incarceration period. I really kind of do, even to the point like that same sting that say my mother would have with the thought of having handcuffs on her kind of has returned to me. You know what I'm saying? It's like that's I done kind of got away from that normalized thing. Now, truth be told, I have violated. I'm a victim of recidivism. I have been back even after having the barber academy. That not since I had the foundation, but since I had the barbershop and academy, I'd have been back. And to hear somebody just talk like, oh man, it's just 90 days. It's just whatever's like. No,
mm,
I couldn't imagine picking up, they knocking my door tonight and take me and I'm gone the next 3 months. Like that, that still frightens me now. You know what I mean? And I say that to say is like, time does heal wounds or whatnot. And, being surrounded by different people, get you in a different mindset. And maybe it might be a defense mechanism by me trying to, turn off those things. But it's like, but I also embrace that though. Like, what I'm saying, that's what it's supposed to feel. I think we get desensitized sometimes to things, and it's like, and that's not good. It's not cool to know that I can go do time. That's what the young boys that give me is
yeah.
like
Right.
no effect.
Yeah.
That's wrong. It's no longer a correctional facility at that point. And
Hmm.
I look at myself as a product of one that was corrected. And I applaud anybody else that was, what I'm saying, because recidivism is real. There's a lot of
Hmm.
brothers that do return and reoffend, and it ain't
Hmm.
because the system, even with the system being set up how it is, it's like ain't everybody was corrected.
Hmm.
That's right.
For sure.
So,
Yeah.
Carlos, what about you? You got any PTSD, some post traumatic drama, or anything that you might need a counselor for? And I ain't trying to be funny. You might need counseling or anything, because it's real. It was a real situation. It was time meant. It was time missed and lost.
Yeah, I don't know if I need counseling, few, but
Dude, I
I
ain't
got
needed it. You know.
I got a problem with authority, man. They for somebody to tell you what to do for over 20 something years, I definitely got a problem with authority.
Hmm.
Right.
And I don't do lines. I don't know if people on the outside know that in prison, you in line
Mm.
for the toilet, you in line to brush your teeth, you in line for the shower, you in line for the phone, you in line for the microwave, you in line for showers, you in line for everything. Pull up, Bob. Oh, yes. They want the weight, you want to laugh, everything. All the
Yeah.
time. I didn't get one laugh.
Yeah,
Seriously.
Hey, look what he
yeah,
say.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Hey, look,
Hey, you better not cut that line neither.
that's a
Don't cut the
real.
line, man. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
But yeah,
wow.
hey, look, hey, that's a real one right there, bro.
Hey, now for real, yeah, real talk, real talk.
You
Yeah.
know. So, Mr. Kelly, what about you? Like I said, you the one that been home the longest. So, these questions could still linger or they couldn't. So, or when you first came home, did you notice any of the post traumatic? You had to go to Texas. Y'all had a lot of things y'all had to do down there. Little shit that you might not be able to really talk about. So, those things cause stress and mental anguish, man, or could carry a different attitude when you got released. So, did you notice any PTSDs or little things inside yourself that that probably need
Well,
addressing?
honestly,
Needed,
shit, I went in with issues.
right?
I went in suffering from dealing with anxiety, not really knowing what I was dealing with ADHD, you know, and during those times, I didn't go through, besides the death of my brother, I didn't go through anything traumatic that that affected me coming home. But because of what happened to my brother, it put me in that place where change was a real thing for me. And
Hmm.
ever since that day, that's all I've been striving for is just change. Even when I came home, change. My attitude wasn't the same attitude going in. You know, I was more humble. I was more kicking it with everybody, trying to be, cool with everybody. I smiled a lot, which, you know, 6'4" big old dark skinned motherfucker. You working in somebody's place, you can't try not to
Right.
look intimidating, you know what I'm saying? So I smile a lot. Saying I talk to a lot of people, especially in the neighborhood, especially a lot of young dudes that see that's on their path to making some of these same mistakes. So, my issues was way before I even went the first time. You know, I didn't
Hmm.
realize that there were issues until years later. But I didn't come home with anything where I was traumatized to the point where it stopped me from sleeping at night, had me feeling jumpy or nothing like that, you know, because, my mindset was already on a path to change. So those things or whatever happened, didn't carry out with me when I came home.
Okay. All right. Well, as you guys can see, we're gonna try to get Carlos back. I'm gonna give him a second to try to get situated. I kind of want to just go back to a question, um, relating to friends, and I know sometimes when during times some people may of course they're not there. So
Hmm.
when you came home, were there anybody that like now they show up and they're like, "Hey man, what's up? Welcome home." You
Hmm.
know, um, type situations. And if so, like, how did it make you feel? Did you just like blow it off? Do you just, like, how did you carry that? I'm asking from a person who's never been,
Yeah, of,
incarcerated.
of
I
course,
just
of
feel
course.
like certain things are like so fake to me. And like I'm a
Hmm.
person who, Lawrence, you may know, the other guys don't know that I'm a breast cancer survivor, right? So I went
Yes.
through chemo. I went through like fighting for my life, you know,
Hmm.
and everybody wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like there were certain people that I would have probably thought would be there and I ain't
Hmm.
hear from. You know what I mean? And they was on my Facebook page. So
Yeah.
I wanted looking like a little chicken nugget because I'm bald
Yeah.
headed. Like I was very, very open with
Hmm.
how I looked and everything, and I'm going through the, chemo and stuff. So, um, and it was like nothing, but it did something to me because I'm like, if you can't be down with me or there for me when I'm going through it, like I don't
Hmm.
really feel a need for us to even,
Yeah.
you know what I mean,
Uh,
deal. You
if
know,
if you if you don't mind, let me say this. Your situation. I can understand where your feelings might come from that because you know these people are close to you. They're I mean like physically close to you. When you locked up, you don't have that same luxury. If you know what I'm saying. So me going in and not, I didn't put. The thing is, I didn't put expectations on friendships being locked up because I knew what it is going in.
Mhm.
Same thing with girlfriends. I broke up with females because I knew I was going in because there wasn't no need to me to try to have a relationship behind the walls. And that phone is probably the most dangerous thing in that motherfucker. So
Come
not putting expectations on people when you incarcerated, it helps for one, it helps your time go by a little better.
Mm.
Now, you know what I'm saying? So friends, I didn't have no expectations of nobody sending me any money or coming to visit me or none of that. You know, not even family, some family members. See, I had a father, I knew I couldn't get no money from him. We need to call him. He ain't giving me shit. Dale, you know, that nigga ain't sending me shit. And I knew that going in. I knew that before I even motherfucker started getting locked up. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying? So I don't put those expectations because I'm the one that put myself in that situation. And to be mad at these individuals that, you know, I feel like they should be, you know, looking out for me, come and see me, write me letters, and nah. I'm not doing that. All that does is just make your time just a little bit too motherfucking hard. So that's how that was for me.
How about you, Carlos? Let's try to get you while we got you going.
I missed what's the question?
Oh, sorry. Just saying, like, when you went in and you did time, and maybe there were friends that kind of fell off, but when you came back home, they were all like, "Hey, man, what's up?" Trying to get back in good with you. Like, how did you feel? It was just something that, like Lawrence was like, I didn't have, any expectations. How did you feel though?
Um, wow, that's actually almost a sensitive subject, right? Because like, I don't use a phone a lot when I'm locked up. I really try
Mm,
not to um
mm,
mix what's going on in my life in here, what's going on out there. So basically, when I got incarcerated, I just had a conversation with someone about this the other day. I told people that's close to me, just like I was saying earlier, I ain't got but one child. Hey, I can take care of myself in here. Just look out for my daughter. So when I came home and like my daughter wouldn't let me breathe for like the first 2 3 weeks. So every time somebody came around, I was like, "Hey, you remember such and such?" And she said no. So like I think everybody but like two of my cousins. She was like, "No, I don't remember him. I don't know him." But it's like some of their kids still remember me, and I done over 20 some years. So that actually hurt a little bit. I'm like, dang, how
Yeah.
your kids remember me and I was gone, but
mm,
you been out here the whole time, and my daughter don't know none of y'all. So yeah, I'm
Mhm.
like, yeah,
Mm.
pretty bad.
mm,
Understood. What about you, Antoine?
Uh, for me, it's like those that I really expected to have been there that did slide off, like they slid off early out the gate. So you kind of take the sting of that along with your sentence. So it's on the front end. So
Yeah.
time passes and like it become a normal thing of their absence as well. Um, even to the point of like it being nothing. Now, for me, I was blessed to give 8 years of my sentence back on a habeas corpus. So along with dealing with that, I got that gas of like I'm coming home early and like I'm fit to show you. That that was you that chose to step off and whatnot. But I still got a shot. Uh, and I have came across some of them people, but blessed to be in a much better place now.
Mhm.
Great,
Mm.
great, great. Dale?
Yeah, cause we got a little bit of time left. I want to get each one of y'all answer on this, cause we've been talking about the prison and the anguish. Let's get to the good part now. We
Hold on,
all,
Dale. Hold on, Dale.
yes,
I wanted to hear your answer.
to the question again, say it again.
Were there people that you felt like didn't hold you down? and
Oh
then
yeah, that
you
question.
came out. Yeah.
Let me tell you something about that. And I'm gonna tell, and I say this to everybody that close to me and my family. Honestly, that prison time was the best thing that happened to me. I, I,
Mm.
I'm real about that. I was in a way out here, and I was with some sandbox dudes, and I thought they was real. But that time gave me the chance to cut ties with everybody. Niggas that might have done me wrong, anything that might have happened right before I left prison. I mean, right before I got ready to go to prison, anything that was happening in the streets, that time gave me enough time so I could cut ties with them guys. I could forgive them, but I don't have to speak to them. I wasn't expecting them to do nothing. And like Antoine said, I had support system. I got a big family. I got real friends too, outside the street game and all that. I got real friends, so I was good. And inside, I met good people, so I was good. But the people that I knew from the streets, my homeboys from the sandbox, from around Manning Street, from around the South, wherever, it gave me to come home. I can pick if I want you to be in my circle now. You know what I mean? It ain't an obligation. I ain't in the G code. I don't have to G code it in and be obligated to be with y'all. I'm not with
Mm.
y'all. You know what I mean? I'm by myself, and whoever I
Mhm.
let in, we good, we good. But some of the dudes that I grew up with, I'm talking about them been through shootouts, been to jail together. I wouldn't care if we never speak again. That prison time gave me that time to do that. You know what I mean? And other people, other good men feel they void. You know what I mean? If I was that miss a good friend, maybe I met a nigga like Carlos. You know what I mean? I met a other guy like Kelly, or met a guy that was put in my path the way I really didn't even miss nothing. You know what I mean? So that prison time really helped me out because I would have been could have been potentially going to the feds with Rico and with niggas with Rico cases with niggas that don't even like me for real. You know what I
no,
mean?
no,
Yeah, I'd have been doing
no
time with
bullshit.
niggas. Yeah, niggas don't even like me for real. So it gave me enough time to cut ties with them. I'm good now. You see me, I be with myself or whoever I want to be with. I ain't gotta be with these niggas because they from around my way. You won't see me
Hmm.
like that. So
For sure.
I'm good now. I ain't glad that I went, but I do appreciate it. I appreciate the Lord for setting me there. you know. But
Yeah.
like I was saying, we ain't got that much time. I want each one of these brothers to answer this because we always talking about the prison and all that, but we all free. We all home now. We ain't trying to get back to there. So Carlos, let me start with you because you just getting you the least amount of time home. I've been home February. I've been home 6 years, so it's coming around for me. You coming around the bend. So I want to know how has the transition been for you. I want to know what struggles you have had because we all working. I don't want to say 9 to 5 because we got foundations and nonprofit, but we still working a schedule. Like before, we could be in the streets, we can get money. We getting money every day. It's different now. We all working men, 9 to 5 men. So I want to know how that transition been from for you coming home, getting to work, working every day, staying on your work, and just the struggles that you had with that. Now we home, but we good. We working, but it's not easy. Ain't because I'm here. I've been doing it 6 years. Like I said, it's not easy for me. I'm a barber, and sometimes we struggle. And a lot of barbers got 2 or 3 jobs, and I just got the one barbering job. So if ain't no haircuts coming in, I'm still my brain. Don't get me wrong, I'm crazy. So my brain be like, what I'm gonna do? Go ahead, nigga. You already know. My brain like, what I'm gonna do now? What you gonna do about these bills, man?
Mm.
Woo. So
Yeah.
it's real struggles, until you get there. So Carlos, what since your transition, what's been your struggles, but
Yeah.
also what do you do now? What is your employment? What do you do for others, and what do you do for the community?
Like you say, them thoughts you call what you were just talking about. I call them suicidal thoughts.
Yeah,
Mm.
but I'm gonna say it was, like I say, y'all been home longer than me, but I know everybody had their ups and downs. It's like how they say, life be life.
Exactly.
So I had my ups and downs, but I got a constant reminder that you're incarcerated, they pay you like 45 cents an hour.
Oh damn, they want a 45 cent.
It's 45 now, bro.
God, God damn,
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
the highest I made was 38.
Hey,
He
so
went up, John.
yeah, that's like a real reminder. Like if I can get up, and both of y'all was in there with me. If I can get up and go dedicate myself, well, my dedication was more so helping people put themselves in a better situation, but it still was
Mm-hmm.
like, I still got up to do it, and it was for 45 cents an hour. But so like, few, I bought it home, few. Same
Yeah,
thing you see me do every day, it's just I teach it to kids instead of grown men. It's actually a little harder for real.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
No,
Yeah.
I'm not
So
gonna say that. I ain't gonna say it's a little harder. It's about what? Because these new kids, they like sponges, man. They pick up real fast, right?
Mm-hmm.
But it actually like I love doing it. It actually could put a smile on my heart, man. Like I don't know if y'all follow me. Like we'll post sometimes every now and then when they do their first little projects, right? You see them little kids, the young men eyes light up when they see they done actually done something, and
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
try to install in them like, yo, I wish somebody would have done this for me, cause like you ain't got to take that route. You ain't got to go
Mm-hmm.
around all them corners I went around, and
Mm-hmm.
it's like it's a lot of money in it. So like that's what I ain't even gonna lie. I've been dedicating more of my time to that than my actual electrical company lately. But I actually enjoy doing it for real.
and can you tell the people what's the name of your foundation down? Where we in? We in P Town or we in
Yeah, we
Sauce?
in
Where we
P
at?
Town, but
We in
we rep the
yeah,
whole
we're in Portsmouth.
757. We looking to expand, right? It's the Hope program in Portsmouth. We teach, like I said earlier, I mentioned we teach the young kids how to do electrical work. It's me and one of my homeboys from my old neighborhood. He, same type of story. He done been in there. Both of us licensed electricians. Both of us came home, started our own companies, and it was just like the crazy thing. I had already put a business plan together, and I was, they'll know this. I was going to Texas, but like the brother know everything's preordained. I guess my people here needed me more. Allah knows best, but here I am.
That hey, that's a great situation, man. I'm glad you're doing what you're doing. We appreciate it, and we're gonna pray on that hope expansion. Man, Antoine, I'm at you now. How your transition been? I've been watching you, bro. Right in Fredericksburg, I watch every newspaper clip. I be on your side. We come from the same story, so I be with you. And we come from Fauntleroy, so we on the same mission. So let the people know how your transition been. How has it been coming from doing whatever the activities you was before, working your regular 9 to 5, and handling those money struggles and all that to where you at now?
Uh, so to be honest, on my transition home was kind of seamless, given I left with a barber's license. I
Yeah.
left with a means to support myself, in spite of my parents. I didn't rush into the barbershop. I got to, doing natural gas work at first, but I did have that license. So when I, went to the shop, sure, I was easily, hired. I had employment. Um, from there is like I have been given some exposure, given a story of redemption upon opening my shop, and I've been blessed beyond what I could have myself planned or strategized to get to, and it's with that, from whom much is given. Only way I know to continue being blessed is like to pass that along. I blessed to open a barbershop, the Barber Academy, the foundation now, Faded Foundation, and that's solely just trying to offer that same education that I received on the inside to the brothers before they have to go in there. Because for the youth, once you done live that, you can't unlive that. Be beyond
Mhm.
just the record or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? It's like those experiences, it's gonna take away from you. So just trying to offer that to guys, prior to them having to have that experience.
That's a great thing, man. Like I say, I be watching you on that faded. I'm in the same line. I'm piggybacking off what you're doing, trying to get the, not trying, finna get the same thing that you got going on with the Bob Academy right here in Alexander City. I'm gonna do the same thing that you're doing, man. It's an inspiration to me. It inspired me, especially to see a dude come from same classroom, same teaching,
Right,
same penitentiary. You know what I
right,
mean? So can't say it can't be done because we're looking at it right here in the flesh. You know what
right.
I mean? And Mr. Kelly, I left you for last because you've been out the longest and you've been able to maintain and you've been able to hold on. So your story be real. So what's the transition been like for you last 20 years? And because like I said, you were one of the guys that we looked up to. So we know you was a getting money nigga in the city. You was this and this. How it go from making this much money to making this much money, surviving, staying strong, and being where you at now?
Mm.
And then tell me what it is that you do now. What are you? What profession are you in?
Oh, that's a hell of a question. Um, Going back to my man when he said making the 45 cents an hour, right? Damn, I'd have came up. I was making 45 cents back then, but but the thing is with that having because I don't know if y'all remember the Greenville Work Center.
Yeah.
They
Hmm.
had where they sent it motherfuckers once like a certain time of the year.
Strawberry,
They sent everybody
strawberry
pick them
jump.
strawberries. Fuck, I didn't eat strawberry for 2 years after I left that bitch. I'd swear to God. Slim, hey, Slim, hey, Slim. You talking about sometimes motherfucking 10, fucking 12-hour days out there, bitch. And come back the next day, the other half of the motherfucking field and grew back. And you got to go back and pick every goddamn strawberry. Slim, Slim, man, look, man, that right there alone put in a mindset where ain't a motherfucking job I can't do when I get out this bitch. You know what I'm saying? So I had that mindset that no matter what type of work it is, I'm going to do it. You know, I was blessed when I came home to have a job waiting for me. Uncle had his own carpet cleaning business. Then I started working for grocery stores, Trader Joe's, you know, Giants, and the other little, basically the physical labor type jobs. You know what I'm saying? The Restaurant Depot was the last stop,
Hmm.
and that point, and I came to the conclusion: no matter how much I break my back, I can't survive out here like that.
Right.
But
Mhm.
the fortunate thing that happened to me was I don't know if you know Franco, right? Franco Holmes.
Hmm.
All right. Franco was my man. You know what I'm saying? We used to run the streets from here to Norfolk. We used to hustle in Norfolk back in like 88, 89, you know, down there across the street from Norfolk State University. And, Franco was one of them. All right. So after I did that 6 years, I ran into him. And long story short, he ended up going back to school, started a summer program at Yale, got his degree at William and Murray, if I believe, then got his master's at Howard University in literature. Published a book, had numerous articles written about him, and I'm saying this is the same dude I used to run the streets with.
Hmm.
If he can do this, I can do this.
Right.
So from that last motherfucking job, I'm like, fuck this physical labor bullshit. I'm going back to school. Even though I was 35 years old when I did it, but you're
Yeah.
never too old. You're never too old to learn. Went through community college, went through online university.
You was grinding that joint out. I watched you grind that
Look,
joint out.
see,
Yeah.
you know what I did? What I did, I turned my old hustle into that hustle.
Hmm.
I was hustling the motherfucking books,
Hmm.
hustling that information,
Yep.
everything I could get until I got into a place where I can say, going to get my bachelor's degree in psychology, this is my path. This is my motherfucking, what I call uh, 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 my purpose. Because I found something that I really love, enjoy, and enjoy doing, helping others who have come from a place similar to where I've come from, and to match up stories and how to maneuver. And and dudes just coming home. I had a partner of mine that I worked with. He had just did 19 years. This is when I was doing mental health work. I'm still there doing it now. But he had just did 19 years, and he was like asking me, man, how you do it, how you stay out. The first thing I said was, you have to learn to adapt and then evolve. And time and the things that most of us come home to, we just new to us. We got to learn to adapt a lot of those things, not even the bad things, so we can recognize them and learn to move and evolve ourselves past it,
Hmm.
so we can constantly function out here. Because that the old way of life that we used to be, the shit we used to do, that shit ain't working no more. Y'all can see that for yourself. Because most of the youngest they ain't going back to jail for no money. They're
Right,
going back to jail for a bunch of dumb shit.
right.
Absolutely. I wanted
You know what
to
I'm saying?
yeah, we're gonna just for the sake of time, it's
Mm-hmm.
9, we're gonna go over a little bit, but I really want to know, what message do you want society, just because we're talking about how the kids are, right?
Right.
What message do you want society or lawmakers to hear about second chances
Second chances for who?
for people who coming home? Like certain laws you can't, like, especially, you're felon, you can't vote, and so I think that law has changed. I think in certain states, I think you can vote.
Definitely
Um,
VA. Come to VA.
it's only VA,
No, I said
so
come to
things are,
VA. They giving us love, but go ahead. I'm listening.
yeah. I'm just curious, like, because I know you guys are saying y'all did a lot of reading, some of y'all textbooks and stuff like that with like law, like looking into your charges, looking into anything. Was that something like, were you out now and you can look back and you're seeing what these youngins are doing and you're just like, they might not even come out and be able to get a second chance. I think in DC, right, they can't ask about your charges or something like that.
Well,
They have certain
DC
companies.
D, DC is for ex felons. It's a wonderful place to be.
Yeah, it
They
is.
have so many programs for ex felons. You can open up a dispensary as an ex felon in DC. That's how good. That's
Mm-hmm.
how sweet they got it out there. Unfortunately, a lot of those individuals don't take advantage of those things.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that maybe they don't want to. It's a lot of them don't have the information or have
Yeah.
access to the information. You know, so there are things out there for those individuals that's coming home and want to stay home. There are things out there for them.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I definitely believe in second chances. I think that people do make mistakes. I do think that people learn from those mistakes and they don't, make them again. But I do think
Hmm.
sometimes the society tries to hold people back who have been incarcerated. Jobs. I think they do have a list out now with jobs that do hire. But I always wonder, like, once they're in that job and people know that they're a felon, how are they treated on a job?
I'm a,
Are they
I'm gonna
treated
answer.
with the same respect?
I'm gonna answer that straight up. I ain't never let that me being an ex felon hold me back doing shit. I never use it as a crutch because look, I don't care what type of charge you have. There's a job out there for you. At
Most
least
definitely.
there's a way you can make a living. Rather be temporary, whatever. For me personally, I never used that as a crutch because I came home. I was working all types of jobs. My brother was the same way. Even if it had to be at Starbucks, then so be it at Starbucks.
Yeah, yeah.
It don't matter. If you
Definitely
if you
making more than that 40 cent.
Yeah, well, yeah, that's what I'm trying to tell you. And not even 40 cents. I was 38. I
Shoot.
missed we ain't get the chance to get to the 45. You know what I'm saying? I was making 38, but see, I had that mindset that I wasn't gonna use that as no crutch because I'm an ex-felon. If I put it on there, hey, it is what it is. You don't call me, so what? But it's not gonna stop me from going I was so fed up with doing time, none of that even mattered. Now, it might affect some people in certain ways, the type of jobs you're looking for or type of fields you're getting into. Like I had a white woman tell me some years ago when I was saying I wanted to go back to school to work with kids and young adults. This white lady told me in my face straight up, "Oh, they ain't hiring ex felons." And I looked at her And my mind say, like, bitch, who you talking to like that? You know what I'm saying? Because you got the audacity to tell me I can't do something because you saying I'm an ex-felon. I like to see her ass now. I work with kids and young adults every goddamn day.
Yeah.
I used to do seminars. I used to do seminars at Landmark Detention Center for a whole year. I've been to high schools and spoke in front of high school students. So that bullshit about, you a felon and, you can't do what you want to do. Nah, fuck that. I don't care. Look, I don't care who you are, what you are. If you want something out of life, and if you want a life, you ain't gonna let nothing deter you. Nothing or nobody.
All right.
And that's, like I said, that's just me personally.
Guys, in closing, did you guys want to say anything about that as we wrap it up?
What was the question?
Lord,
Lord held, Lord held the mic a
Lord, he
little slow.
going
I
in.
forgot the question.
Oh, we were just talking about second. We were just really
Oh,
talking about
oh,
second
oh, my
chances.
fault. My fault, Cool. I think everybody deserves a second chance, though.
Yeah.
Like Lauren said, I don't think I use it. Uh, I know times have changed. When on my first bit, I done a little over 7 years. When I came home at '07, they was carrying felons like real dirty.
Mhm.
They ain't even want you in fast food restaurants, 7-Eleven, Walmart.
Mhm.
I'm like, y'all want me to go back. That's how I
Yeah.
felt. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
hey, look, now I actually want to apply for a job one time, right? I think it was a temp service. The whole time wanted to send the people about to scam me out some money. Like that's how bad I
Wow.
was really looking for. Like it was bad out here. Like, but now, if a person don't want to work, like that's just on them. It's like, yeah, I think a person lying right now, but like it's sweet for felons now. Like,
Yeah.
Mhm.
yeah, it's not bad at all. But back then it was horrible. But
It's
yeah,
hard.
now the second chances are out here for us. It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's
You
out
guys are
here.
living proof. You guys are living proof. And
Yeah.
right after we finish this, if you guys don't mind sharing, and you come back on Facebook, just put your information. I don't know if Dale, I can't remember if Dale tagged you guys in the post, but we want to, hear more about your organizations. People who are watching, they may want to follow you or follow your journey and things like that. So, definitely add that to the comments.
I
Um,
don't, I don't know,
yeah.
few. I seen a couple people follow since I've been up here. Few. I might have.
Okay.
I tried to tell you that, and that's what I said at the beginning, man. It's gonna be some people that's gonna be wanting to chime in, know what you're doing. I know they're gonna want to know, and I got some homies in the time. What I got some people that got kids down there that's gonna definitely
Mhm.
be looking. I got people in Fredericksburg. They're gonna be like, "Oh, Dale, I ain't know Antoine had this right here. Can I holler at him?" So this just open up a little avenues and doorways for people, And I'm glad that y'all came on here, man. I definitely appreciate y'all because y'all tapped in on last minute. I hit y'all, and there wasn't no hesitation. It was just like, please, we ready, we good. So just to see my good brothers doing that, I definitely appreciate that. They let me know that we all on the right page, moving forward in the community and helping each other out, man. I appreciate each and every one of y'all for that.
Yeah, ain't nothing changed
Hey,
with me, man. When you tapped on my bunk and say, man, let's go ahead and get some bump, I hopped up then.
There we go. No matter what was happening,
Ain't
there we
nothing
go.
changed. Come in from work, let's go. I'm going, right? Let's go. Ain't nothing changed.
yeah. Oh
That's how it
yeah,
goes.
and it's how it's supposed to be for real. I mean, because right now ain't nobody but us. Cause
Yeah.
ain't way things going now, it ain't nobody but us.
Yeah.
And
Y'all,
if we can't look out for each other and hold each other accountable and just try to do the best we can for the communities and the people that's in them, then why are we here?
Mhm.
yeah. It's on us now. We're actually the grown ups now. Guys, I didn't know this.
Hmm.
It's on
We
us.
getting close to the ancestors.
Yeah, yeah. We the aunties and uncles. We the aunties and uncles.
That's real.
Somebody called me auntie one time. I was like, wait a minute. I'm not. Then I was like, dang, I am. Well, yeah, I guess I am to
Yeah,
you.
You are.
Auntie,
we
we
are.
aunties and OGs and the OGs and pops and all that stuff. Yeah. So Yeah, but thanks, guys. Thanks for coming on.
Oh, pleasure, my
Definitely
pleasure. Definitely.
Thanks for having me.
enjoyed having you guys on here, and hey, we might even be able to do something else in the future. So,
Hey,
um,
I'm ready.
all
Again,
right, guys.
Like Coco said, drop y'all links and drop y'all information in the comments so anybody can check it. You drop that hope information, drop that faded, big homie, drop whatever you got going on with next seminar, whatever. Just put it in the comments so people can see who you are, see who the guest is, and they might be calling. You might help somebody that you ain't even know about, man. So I
Man,
definitely appreciate that, man. Y'all keep tuning in to us though. Like I said, we can probably bring you back because we got some more to talk about. We just want to make sure we get it all on that playing field, man. Appreciate y'all.
hey, hey, much appreciation, most definitely, man. I appreciate all you
You
for
already
real, man.
know.
All
Especially
right.
even the young brothers I don't even know. I appreciate you, y'all going on, y'all moving your life forward, which is always a good thing. Always, man. Just keep doing what you're doing, regardless of who might try to get in your way. Fuck it. If you got to run them over, then run their ass over. You
Mm-hmm.
know, you know. That's just how I am. That's how I've been going.
Antoine, appreciate you, bro. Appreciate you,
Thanks for
man.
having me, man. I greatly appreciate being thought of, brother. Anytime.
You already know. All right, man. Y'all enjoy y'all evening, man. I'm gonna catch up with y'all.
Hey, hey,
I'll be
Gates,
hitting each one of y'all anyway. You know what I mean?
hey, Gates,
So
I'll
get
be
later.
up there Saturday, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna
Well,
bump into you
listen,
for sure. This weekend, I don't know how we've been missing each other every time you come up here. I'm gonna make sure this weekend I bump into you for sure. And
That'll be.
we gonna get down, man.
All right.
All right,
inshallah, I'm gonna
For
y'all.
link with
Y'all
sure.
you,
be cool,
ID.
man.
I'm gonna hit you on
Inshallah.
the office hour.
Okay.
Inshallah. Assalamu
Salam
alaikum.
One
alaikum.
love.
Walaikum assalam wa rahmatullah.
Nah.
All right.
All right, guys. We are going to call it a night. Thanks for tuning in, Dale. Did I lose you? What happened, Dale? Thanks for coming in, watching, and supporting. Since it was so busy, I tried to get to everyone's comments that I could. So my apologies, Naima. Thanks as always for submitting questions. We are still a work in process and progress, all of that, okay? Because this is definitely a process, not being able to do it in the studio and then finding another way to get it done. So thanks so much for definitely tuning in. So, Dale, did you have anything else?
No, you said pretty much, man. We just appreciate everybody for tuning in. This it's our third week going, so y'all just stick with us. It's gonna get better and better. We got more guests coming. We appreciate the support. Y'all been really supporting. So, we're just bringing something different to your eyes, something different, little different light to you. You know what I mean? So we appreciate everybody tuning in. We appreciate all the support. Set your calendars for next week. You can chat them for 7:30, so 8 o'clock. You be right here, Dale and Coco, unfiltered.
All right. Y'all have a good night.
Catch on smoke.